Hey everybody, what's going on? ShabbyDoo here, and today we're going to be talking about the Icarus Week 7 content update. Now, they're really hyping up this title, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's not a lot of hype behind this. It's very disappointing, honestly, in my opinion. But Workshop Week, we got 5 new tools, 3 new backpacks, 2 new modules, farming supplies, and mushrooms. Yeah, the question mark is really sustainable. You should have just left the question mark and got rid of that exclamation point because... or honestly, you should have just left it out of this whole update entirely. You made a real joke of yourselves. But as the Icarus team's planning for a 2022 continues, this week we've taken a break from adding new missions to get a bunch of new items into the workshop. You'll find a lot of new options to take into your dropship loads that let you choose how you want to tackle a mission. So we've got a new edition of the Icarus tools. All of these have a 1,000 exotics research cost plus 400 crafting. So that is 1,400 exotics. That's a lot, but some of these are honestly pretty good. In my opinion, they're all 3 of these are good items. I should say 3. That obviously does not include the spear because the spear is an absolute shit weapon. Don't use it. But as you can see here in this first one, we've got axe, pickaxe, spear, knife, and arrows. They get the knife on display here. Exclude the damage, but we got 225% yield from skinning and 100% chance to resist a wound. That's actually pretty nice for when you're like, you know, a bunch of wolves aggress you, or you're in the desert and you get aggressed by like some hyenas and cougars, and instead of taking that like little bit of a bleed and having to make a bandage, you have your knife out anyways because you're stabbing them in the face. Saves yourself the bleed. Not a bad thing. One day this will get into my repertoire. It's not high on the list of things to farm for, but it's on there. It's pretty good. I'm not shaming this. I like this. I like that. But we'll talk about the other ones in a minute here. So, showing their heritage in the mining industry, and Icarus's products have a weighty industrial look to them. They're designed for durability, as you'd expect of products used far from Earth, where repair and replacement are difficult, if not impossible. Well, right now they are impossible. I don't know about in the future, but right now you cannot repair even the Shenggong Shui Shui pickaxe, which says it is repairable in the description, but you cannot, at least right now. We got new backpacks, which this I am a bit excited for. One of them in particular. The others I do not care about, but one of them offering you more than just one inventory space. These specialist backpacks offer additional boxes, whether you consider yourself more of an archer, a gatherer, or a survivor. So they also brought farming packets in. I hate it. I'm just going to come out and say this right now. Besides for like, say, an outpost, which even then I wouldn't bring them. Unless I had more exotic spots to bring shit onto Icarus with, I would then use it, but otherwise, no. So what is this, right? Master the preservation process. Farming packets are now available for most of the crops that have been introduced in Icarus. They can be used to set up a farm on your favorite outpost, or simply to bring mushrooms to part of Icarus where they are not yet found growing in the wild. Not yet found growing in the wild. You do not have mushrooms implemented in this game, period. End of story. There are no mushrooms. Now, this really ticks me off because, in my opinion, this is completely playing off of their own incompetence of claiming this is a fully released game, and this is what pisses a lot of people off about Icarus. And it's one of me included, but I love this game, obviously. And it's that they claim to be a fully released game, and in the content that's not slated to be or coming soon and things like that, like the water balloon and the fishing net, they actually have full-blown recipes in the game that are allegedly fully operational that require mushrooms, and there is zero way to get mushrooms in the game. But we finally got one, right? And you'd think, oh, hey, that's great. Why are you being so harsh on them, Shabby? I can get mushrooms now. I can just bring a pack down. I'll grow them in my own farming plot, and then I'll just have an unlimited amount to use, and I can make some top-tier recipes. Excuse you, sir. You are 100% wrong. The devs even stated on, not in Twitter or anything, but in their Discord, stating that the only use for the mushroom is to use the packet, which will give you, I think it's 5 mushrooms. We tested it with the corn in the live stream on Friday night. If you haven't seen it, come check us out Friday nights. We always do a co-op live stream. We tested out the corn packet, and all it does is give you 5 corn. So I would assume it's the rest for all of them. It's not a seed. It's not like you put the pack into a planter and then it grows your mushroom or whatever, or any other crop. It's mushrooms, corn, watermelons, etc. It's all the food stuff, including soybean. It just gives you 5 of them, right? So you could then take those and plant them, but you cannot do that with a mushroom. They flat out stated you cannot replant mushrooms. So if you wanted to make mushroom recipes, you have to take this down, open it when you're ready to cook them, which will be later in the game because it's not an early tier recipe, and you're only going to get 5 mushrooms. So you'll just be able to make, at best, 5 meals, and that's it. Unless you take multiple, but that's an exotic slot apiece. Complete waste. They should have completely omitted the mushrooms instead of making this like some big ploy that, oh, now you can make mushroom recipes. You know what? Go F yourself. Why don't you actually implement mushrooms into the game or make it so I could farm them with the mushroom farming pack? Mushroom farming pack. Nothing about this is farming. This is a food pack. This is like shoving in food into a it's like vacuum sealing. This is a pack of 5 vacuum sealed mushrooms or corn or watermelons or whatever. That's it. Nothing special. Nothing about it is farming. So the whole name is irrelevant. It's just a pack of food. And that's what pisses me off, is that they're making a big deal about mushrooms for their complete lack of actual content with mushrooms. It's all in the game. It's all the best recipes require mushrooms. You can't get them. Well, here you go. Have 5. Use 1 whole exotic slot for 5 mushrooms. Sorry, that's my rant there. Absolute joke. Another joke here. We've got the Mxc Furnace. And if you see here in this picture, you see that? That's not a picture of the furnace. That's actually not what it looks like. That is the picture of the Mxc fire pit or fireplace, whatever you want to call it. That's the exact picture. So they used the wrong picture here for 1. And 2, what a joke. But let's see. There are also 2 additional modules that improve animal visibility and 2 pre-built deployables to speed up your settlement once you arrive. A furnace and a storage crate. Okay. So let's talk about the furnace for 20 seconds here. I'm not going to rant like I did the mushrooms because I think the furnace is absolute dog shit as well. The furnace is a tier 1 furnace. All it can do is smelt iron and copper. Why would I waste a whole exotic slot on a furnace? Like, why? What's the point? What do I need an entire furnace for? If I only get 10 exotic slots for my missions, I would never bring a furnace. It's only iron and copper. To make that, all I need to do is build a crafting bench, which I'm going to need for plenty of other things, and then use a little bit of stone to make a furnace. It's not hard. I make multiple furnaces in my missions. I make furnaces and crafting stations inside of caves just to smelt copper ore while I'm in the cave and then leave with bars. I bring mortar and pestles with me to make steel ingots while I'm in cave, or steel bloom, and then bring those home with me. I don't need a furnace. This is such a waste. It's grab bag content for sure, but it is useless to a good Icarus player. It's not even useful for a bad Icarus player. Like, how lazy do you got to be to not want to build a furnace? It's like the campfire. At least with the campfire, you could use it outside and it not get put out in the rain because it's got a little top on it. You can't use this outside. It needs shelter. Yep, there you go. Need shelter. But let's talk about the good stuff here. Like, they put all this on display, but the best stuff right here is this one. Added the Gatherer's Backpack. 6 inventory slots and a reduction in wood and ore capacity. That reduction is 45%. That's awesome. That's a great item. Thank you. This backpack is absolutely worth an exotic slot. 100%. The others, no. I would never use these except for this one, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the Archer's Backpack. All these have 6 inventory slots. So we got bow speed, bow reload, bow projectile speed, and increased aim down sight speed. Useless. I don't give a shit about that. Don't care. Next. You should be one-shotting everything except for bears in this game. And even once you get to a higher level, you'll one-shot bears too. Then you'll get a hunting rifle and your bow is useless. So this backpack, nope. Now we've got the survival. Fall damage resistance, sprain chance reduction, and a small movement speed buff. It's a 5% buff, so it's just like the module. We were talking about this in the live stream today. We were actually talking about a lot of this today. This is only useful, in my opinion, when I do deep vein extraction runs or deep vein mining runs. Because the entire mission, I'm just running, right? I'm just on foot running from the spawn into the tundra, mine an exotico, then go mine 3 more nodes, and then I leave, right? It's all about running. So yeah, I do use this backpack in that mission, along with 2 movement speed modules, right? that right there is a 15% boost right off the top, in addition to everything else I already have. So that's great in that sense. But otherwise, I wouldn't bring this on a normal mission. The backpack you want, the Gatherer's backpack. If you disagree, leave me a comment down below. And like I always say, guys, if you're loving this, make sure you hit that like button too. And make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Get back for that sweet Shabby content where we talk about more patch note updates. We talk about all sorts of Icarus things, good Icarus tips, let's plays, and also plenty of other great games too. But all right, getting back down here, no more shame plugging. They are added farming packets for various crops. It allows you to farm crops that may not exist natively in the drop area. It's a decent idea, honestly. I do like the idea. I wish you got a little bit more crops out of it, honestly. And I wish they were actually a farming pack. Like, give me seeds. Don't just give me a pack with food in them. Like, make me actually have to grow them, right? Like it's just vacuum sealed food. It's not a farming pack. Nothing about it's farming. Added animal highlighting module, which increases the visibility of fauna when equipped. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. The highlighting module works exactly the same as the perks do in the skinning path. Or the hunting path. I forget what it's called. I don't use it because I think it's a terrible path. But that's a great option with the highlighting. So it works the same way. You scope in with your bow and then you'll see a little highlight around the animal. What's better than that, though, is the health bar module, which you have to buy first. Health bars can be seen from further away than you can see the highlight of the creature. So you'll see a health bar before you see the highlight of the creature, and you'll be outside of its aggro range. So this is also in the hunting tree perk or the skinning perk, whatever it's called. But if you don't get it and you have a really hard time and you die a lot because you get snuck up on things, etc., this is honestly a good one for you to use. In my opinion, I don't like it that much. If you already have that kind of a hard time, you should get the perks inside the hunting tree, so it'll really help you out. But otherwise, I do think it's a good module, but for the... let's say the normal player, but for like say the above average player or you sweaty boys out there, not a chance. They added the Icarus tools, encumbrance penalty. We'll talk about the tools specifically. We'll go into Icarus today real quick and take a little peek ski at these because I want to go over what the stats are because they don't really break them down here. They added the furnace, players to shortcut some of the resource production chain. If it could at least smelt steel, we could frickin' talk, but it can't, okay? Move on. Build a regular furnace. Added a crate. Deployable storage available right from the start of your drop. 25 slots. Absolutely dumb. Like, what? I can just go get 32 wood and make a wood storage. Like, again, like, it's a waste of an exotic slot. Why would I use this? Increased number of slots in player gravestones and overflow bags, preventing items being moved into the world where they could be lost. What could happen is, like, when you had backpacks on and other things like that, they would explode out of your corpse, and you could lose some items if it took too long for you to get back. Not common, so a lot of people didn't know about it, but that was a thing. Changed the layout and cost of several workshop recipes. I'll have to keep... I love the layout, by the way. I got to check out some of the costs. I haven't really deep dived into it. The update came out super late today at like 8:13 p.m. Eastern, so we were midstream when it dropped. They increased the number of... we talked about that. Fixed several issues with station-to-station long survey mission. I don't know about the long survey. Extended, I don't know if they fixed it, but you couldn't even play the standard. You had to play hardcore. Fixed an issue where physical resistance was not correctly applied to melee resistance and damage calculation. So we tested this in the stream actually when we're talking about it. So I got to test this again to see if this was fixed. But basically what happened was physical resistance did not work, which means if you took an attack from an animal, whether you were naked or wearing nanocarbon or nanofiber armor from the exotic shop, you took the same amount of damage. It was irrelevant. So we'll test that. And if that's the case, when we talk about our exotic armor, I'll talk about the resistance being fixed appropriately. And they fixed a quick load talent, not increasing reload speed as intended. Yeah, it was just doing nothing. So, but all right. Great. Some great stuff in here, honestly, but a lot of it was just not good in my opinion. But let's talk about them here. Icarus. Let's go into the tree here. Look at that big boy. Such a good looking guy. So, workshop, right? So look at this. It's beautiful, honestly. I love the new layout. It looks so good. So you start here and you work this way. Here are the seeds. So they're pretty cheap, honestly. 50 to learn, 20 to get. It's just the fact that they take up a exotic slot for me that I would never use them. So that's what these do. Here you have to get the coal and then you can get your furnace. This is what it actually looks like. As you can see here, like we said before, that's the campfire. That's the picture that's in the update. That's not correct. It's this. It looks like a little Weber grill. Don't buy it. It's worthless. And it costs 500 research points. I bought it so we could show it off in the stream. It's awful. Same with this. Not worth it. Now, if we come down this way, we got the backpacks here. So you can see 5% movement speed, 25% falling resistance, 50% chance to avoid a sprain, and 50% sprain duration on self. Pretty good. Only useful for missions where you are literally running A to B and doing nothing else. Otherwise, I would suggest the Gatherer's backpack. 45% carry weight of ores and wood. And that includes things like sulfur, oxide, stone, etc. If it looks like a rock, it's 45% off. And then here's the archer's backpack. I'm a big archer, right? I'm not ever going to buy that. It's awful. I don't think it's good. The other two modules, they're down here. So 75 and 25 and 75 and 25. And then 50 and 10 to craft each one. Not bad. I would suggest just the HP if you're going to get one. The outline's not really useful. You have to get a lot closer to see the outline. And just the HP is enough to give you a heads up, really. And to slow your roll. Now let's talk about the good stuff. Okay. So we'll go left to right here at the axes. So you can see this is going up here. So we've got the Icarus Dias axe. So let's just talk 130% yield. So compared to here, which was 125%, not a big deal. But 50% carry weight of wood. It's pretty good. Now I have to assume that I have to have the axe equipped or else I would lose that perk, right? So that's still really good. Now, I'm going to skip the pickaxe because I got something else to say about that. Let's go to the knife first. We've got the 50% chance to slow on hit with attacks. Oh, wait. Sorry, that's the spear. Sorry. It looks like a knife. Like, it looks like a little butterfly blade, right? 50% chance to slow and a 10% to immobilize. It's a crap spear. Nope. Next. All right, the knife. The Icarus Ventura knife. 225% yield, so coming down here, which is 200, is 25% more. It's not great, but not bad. But 100% chance to resist a wound. It's not bad. I'd take it. You know, it's 10% extra yield from skinning because there's the extra 15% there. And I'd take it to resist a wound. Just that's a quality of life thing. It's not bad. Oh, I forgot to mention, they did give us arrows. We get the Icarus Aruda arrow bundle. 5% break chance, which is nice, and a 71 to 75 damage. So it's pretty much as good as aluminum arrows, which is not bad. Wouldn't waste a slot on it myself, but a great option for some people. Great option. Maybe doing a kill mission. Get yourself a good bow. Put these on. Go do wet work extermination. Bing, bang, boom. You're done. Not bad, right? Now let's talk about the meat and potatoes here. This bad boy, the Icarus Nevi's pickaxe. So 148% yield and 60% radius. So it's the same thing. So this is 135% plus 10% from gold and copper. So if you thought about those, 145%. So overall, it's either slightly better or for gold and copper, or much better for all the other resources. So overall, a good pickaxe, and not item specific, but it also has a minus 50% over encumbrance penalty. That tied out with the perk or the talent that gives you 25% plus some movement speed, you're at 25% encumbrance penalty. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty good. We're going to test that out. I need to go grind this out. You'll see a video come out pretty soon, I hope, for testing out this Icarus Nevi's pickaxe about over encumbrance and seeing how well this works for just getting yourself absolutely encumbered and running back with a whole cave's worth of stuff. So I think this is a great pickaxe in general. We just have some things to test out and see what we can cheese with this over encumbrance penalty. But all right, guys, that's going to wrap this up here. That was a lot of stuff in this update, a lot of items, but it was all really good stuff. So if you found this useful, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit subscribe as well, get back for that sweet shabby content and get a bunch more updates, especially if you like these. And otherwise, as usual, I hope the rest of your day is not too shabby.